Hi guys, welcome back to Bailey's Bleacher. Today we're going to talk about some hockey, and then make sure you stick around because we have a very special guest on today's show. So today I wanted to start off the show by dedicating this episode to Julia Mazur. She just passed away last month. She was a good friend of mine from college. We did a lot of television together and newspaper together, and she absolutely loved hockey, and I wanted to dedicate this episode to her. Because I know she would have loved talking about today's subject, which is the Hughes brothers. So I just wanted to start off this episode by dedicating it to her. So diving right in, I'm sure as many of you saw, the three Hughes brothers just played against each other for the first time as NHL athletes. This was the first time that these three brothers finally got to be on the ice together in a professional capacity, and that was just really neat to watch. So before we get talking about the game, I just wanted to give a quick rundown on each of the Hughes brothers, like statistics and where they went to college and yada yada. So Quinn Hughes, who is the oldest of the three, he went to the college hockey powerhouse of the University of Michigan. He was there from 2017 to 2019, and he had quite the career there. He received the Big Ten All-Freshman team and the All-Big Ten second team during his rookie season. And then in 2018, he went right into the NHL draft, but he decided to play his collegiate sophomore season instead of going into the NHL, which is pretty cool. During his sophomore season, he was awarded with the All-Big Ten first team. He was nominated for the Hobby Baker Award. He was a finalist for the Big Ten Player of the Year, as well as being a finalist for the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, and he was named to the AHCA First Team All-America. So huge career at Michigan. And after his sophomore season, he finally decided to go into the NHL. In 2019, Quinn went to the Vancouver Canucks, who originally drafted him before his sophomore season. And so then he's been there ever since as a defenseman, which is pretty cool that they wanted him originally, and now he's playing for them. He got to play in the NHL All-Star Game in 2020 as a 20-year-old, which is just crazy. So far, throughout his career during the regular season, he has had a total of 35 goals, 242 assists, and 277 points to date. These are big numbers as a defensive-man. He was breaking records like crazy in the program, and I'm sure he will continue to do so since he is literally only 24 years old. He's also the youngest active captain right now in the NHL, which is pretty cool, and I think that's great for him because clearly he deserves it, because he shows on the ice that he's just a big leader and that, yeah, he's there on defense, but he'll score. Like, he's there to win, so that's pretty cool. So then moving on, the second oldest Hughes brother is Jack. He is 22 years old, and he was drafted to the NHL by the New Jersey Devils in 2019 as the first overall draft pick. Jack actually didn't play in college, which is a crazy fun fact. He was drafted right out of the USA Hockey National Team Development Program at the age of 18. So, like, can you imagine playing any professional sport as an 18-year-old? Like, that is crazy. And I know I say the word crazy all the time, but I can't think of another synonym for that. But I can't imagine that feeling. So throughout his career thus far, the center has 97 goals, 143 assists, and 240 points during regular season play. In 2022 and in 2023, Jack was selected to play in the NHL All-Star Games, which is a big deal, especially as a 20 and 21-year-old. He's such an incredible center, and he always puts up big numbers. He's very exciting to watch. But now the youngest brother, Luke, he had 2 great seasons at Michigan, where his brother Quinn played. And Luke also played defense for the Wolverines. He set several records there during his short 2-year career there. He received many awards as well, like the Hughes brothers do. He got All-Big Ten Freshman Team, the All-Big Ten Second Team, the Co-Big Ten Freshman of the Year Award, and he was an AHCA West Second Team All-American. Then he was a finalist for the Big Ten Player of the Year, and also a finalist for the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. And then he was named to the All-Big Ten First Team, as well as the AHCA West First as well as the AHCA West First Team All-American. That was a mouthful, so sorry. But he was drafted to the New Jersey Devils in 2021 as the 4th overall pick in the NHL entry draft. But he decided to play his freshman and sophomore year instead at the college level, and then decided to join his brother in April of 2023. So during his professional career so far, Luke has recorded 5 goals, 12 assists, and 17 points on defense during the regular season play. Again, as a defender, it's not often that you get to score, but he's putting himself up in the stat book, which is cool. A little fun fact was that during Jack's franchise record 99th point, he assisted Luke's first ever career goal in overtime for the win in their last game of the 2022-23 regular season. So you have a milestone 99th point. You get to assist your little brother in his first career goal during his second NHL debut. Again, a mouthful, but super cool. So you have 3 brothers who all grew up playing competitive hockey, and then they all eventually get to be in the NHL. But then you have 2 of them ending up on the exact same NHL team, which is super cool. I also think that's very smart of the coaches because siblings know exactly how each other plays. I mean, I played sports with my siblings all throughout my athletic career up until college, and there's just something about playing with your siblings. You know exactly what they're going to do before they even do it. And so New Jersey Devils, I think they're pretty smart for putting 2 siblings on the exact same team. And 2 siblings who have very good stats to begin with. And now they're in the NHL. They're playing well with each other. It's just pretty neat. So then, just the other day, all 3 of them finally got to be on the ice together as professional athletes. The Devils played the Canucks in Vancouver, and the Hughes brothers got to be on the ice together for the first time in a while. So the Devils actually ended up beating the Canucks 6-5 in quite an exciting game. It was back and forth, and this game actually went down as the Hughes Bowl, is what they were calling it, and the duo of brothers came out on top. The 2 youngest brothers beat their older brother, so I'm sure that was pretty good to rub in there. But Jack had 1 goal and 2 assists during the match, and then Luke had 1 goal that he scored during a power play, which was pretty neat. And then on the losing side, the oldest brother, Quinn, he had 2 assists. He did not get a goal off, but that would have been pretty neat if all 3 brothers got to score in the same game, but, you know, next time, I guess. So then besides the Hughes brothers' stats, during the rest of the game, for the New Jersey Devils, Jesper Bratt, he ended up scoring 2 goals, and then Michael McLeod scored 1, so that made up for the rest of the goals in the game for the Devils. And then on the Canucks side, JT Miller had 1 goal, Brock Boeser had 1 goal, Niels Hoglander had 1 goal, Dakota Joshua had 1 goal, Sam Lafferty had 1 goal, so that kind of made up for the rest of the scoring on the Canucks side. But yeah, it was just a super tight game. Right off the bat, the New Jersey Devils had 4 goals right in the first period. Vancouver had 2 goals in the first period. And then the second period, the Devils put up 1 goal. Vancouver didn't put up any goals. And then the third period, the Canucks really came back and they scored 3 goals. So then it's tied 5-5. And then the Devils put them away with another goal right there at the end of the game. So yeah, just a very exciting game, and the Hughes brothers, you know, as we said, got to play against each other, and I really think that definitely got the viewership up, especially from the ladies' side. So anytime we get to watch the Hughes brothers, you know it's going to be on. But I just thought this was a fantastic game, and getting to watch the brothers on the ice was just cool because, again, you get to play with your siblings as professional athletes. Like, all 3 of you get to be professional athletes. They are truly just so talented. And they are just beasts on the ice. But that's enough for what I think for now. So moving on, I want to introduce to you today's guest. We actually did television and newspaper together in college. And now she is working for the NHL Network as a researcher, as well as being a part of the Girls Club. She's the head journalist there. And it's an all-female sports platform, which is really cool, getting all women involved in sports. So who better to talk about the Hughes brothers, someone who is working with the NHL Network. She's part of the Girls Club. She writes about hockey all the time. I always see her articles pop up. So let's hear from my good friend, Brianna Ebish. Hey, Bri, welcome to the show.
Hi, Bailey. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and I'm really honored to be talking on this specific episode is dedicated to one of our great friends, Julia, who I miss dearly, but would love to be talking hockey about us, especially about the Hughes brothers, which I can't wait to dive into because they are 3 of my favorite players in the league currently. They're so dynamic and they're so important to their teams, Jack and Luke in New Jersey and Quinn out in Vancouver. They're so great. We just saw the Hughes Bowl that people were talking about last Tuesday, where they played on the first game against each other for the very first time, all 3 of them. Amazing game. All 3 of them picked up at least a point Devils got the win, but the rematch will be in New Jersey on January 6th, and I'm really excited to see them. Maybe Vancouver comes back and Quinn gets the win. Either way, it's an amazing time for hockey to see all three of them playing all at the same time, and they're all amazing players that we get the opportunity to watch every single night. The best part is that, like, even Quinn and Jack have only been in the league for 5 years now, which in reality seems like a lot of time, but really isn't. And Luke is in his rookie year, so we have plenty of time and lots of years of this hockey coming up with watching these guys on the ice. It's a great time. I'm excited. I think every hockey fan is excited. The Hughes brothers are one of the most, probably up there with one of the most iconic brothers that we get to watch play hockey, and the Hughes Bowl was one to remember. We have one more coming up, but for the first time, that game was one of the absolute best, and I think it sets a tone to show us how exciting hockey is and how amazing the family affair of hockey definitely is, especially when you bring the Hughes brothers into the question. Now, my hot take deals specifically with Quinn Hughes. The defenseman obviously plays for the Vancouver Canucks. He's having a fantastic season. Already is tied for the league in assists, already set new career high goals with 9 in only 27 games, and leads all defensemen in the NHL with points. He is just doing it all, playing fantastic. He's on pace to have over 100 points, only 6 defensemen in NHL history have ever done. He's never hit that mark. So he's shattering his career highs, doing everything he possibly can, leading the way in Vancouver, setting the way for the path of success. Obviously, first-year captain, he's doing it all. So I think not only should he be top contender to win the Norris Trophy, he's never won one. He's been in the conversation, but never actually taken the trophy home. He should win the Norris, and I think he should also win the Hart. Hart Trophy goes to the MVP of a player, to the player who is deemed the MVP of their team. Quinn Hughes is literally the MVP on the Canucks. You can point to Brock Besser, who currently leads the team in goals, or JT Miller, who currently leads the team in points. But behind it all, I think you can really look at Quinn Hughes. He's driving force. He has been in the points conversation, he's playing really great defense, found his offensive stride, and for his name to be among the really great goal scorers of the NHL today, it's such an achievement. And I think not only should he win the Norris and take it home for his first one ever, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets that Hart Trophy. And a defenseman hasn't won the Hart since the 1999-2000 season, so he'd be making history along the way. This is more, but I definitely think that's my hot take. I don't know if I will stand by that the entire season, but right now I would have no doubts of handing him both those trophies. He deserves them, and he is only going up from here, so I can't imagine how he doesn't take both, if not one, but both of them home. So my hot take is Quinn Hughes will be the 2023-24 Norris Trophy winner and Hart Memorial Trophy winner. So let's see how it goes.
Thank you so much, Bree. I'm so glad that you were able to get on the show with me today. Thank you so much for talking about the Hughes brothers. And don't worry, guys, Bree will definitely be back on future episodes. So I want to hear some of your thoughts on the Hughes brothers. Those of you who are listening, or if you're watching, what do you guys think? Leave some comments about what do you think of them as athletes? What do you think of their careers? What did you guys think about the game? Like, that was a very exciting game. I want to know all of your thoughts in the comments. But thank you so much for tuning in to Bailey's Bleacher. Make sure you tune in next time, and we're going to talk about some more sports.